Hi, Carrow Brown back out again with another video. Hello everybody, my name is Carrow Brown. I am an author and I'm also the executive assistant over at LaterPress, and I'm going to tell you where I've been, where I am right now, and where I plan on going in the future. Actually, side note, I watched a video recently, really aggravated me because it was a guy that was supposed to talk about something, but he didn't talk about what the key points were. And by the end of it, all he had done was just babbled for about 12 minutes. So I won't get those 12 minutes of my life back, which is why I wanted to tell you guys in the intro what exactly we were talking about. I've been gone for a while. I know I've been gone for a while. It was a conscious choice that I made on my part, and I made it for a couple of reasons. And what I want to do is I want to express the struggle and the frustration that I was going through at the time. It's not my hero's journey where I went there and came back again stronger and better than before, but I took that time to reflect and really do a bit of self-meditation about what it is involving my author career that I wanted to do and how I wanted to progress forward. I think it's something that a lot of you might be able to relate to, which is why I wanted to share it, maybe start a conversation about it, and then I'm going to share my plans about how I plan to move forward, and maybe that path will work for you guys too. But anyway, so let's go ahead and we'll start with how I ended up quit being an author. I quit being an author so hard, I almost gave myself whiplash. It wasn't even a very funny moment. I was having an inkling of doubt because I was doing that one story a week experiment that I told you guys about, where it was trying to basically get noticed by the algorithm on Amazon and see if that would generate me more sales. And the thing that really started to erode at me was the fact that the cost to produce the works was not yielding an outcome. On a high month, those short stories made me maybe $30 a month. And I know some people are going to be like, well, $30 is better than no dollars. And stop that. Nobody's here for your nonsense right now. But for me to produce a story, it literally actually cost me a minimum of $150 because I'm trying to not produce crap work, which means that I hire somebody to edit it and I get a cover done. And I also would try and put those stories up on Booksprout in order to get those free and honest book reviews, right? So on average, it was $150 to produce. And when you do that times 4 per month, $30 a month really does not generate anything in the long run. And I know some folks are going to be like, well, it's about the long game because you're extending your backlist and more people, if they like you, are going to go read it. Nice thought, didn't work, didn't happen. And then the one thing that really nailed in that Amazon is not the place to put my works at is I actually stopped producing the works in February. And what happened in February tanked, instant nothing, right? I made no dollars, nothing. And so obviously, a lot of you understand that if you're not producing something, then Amazon is not going to push it. To produce a short story a week, that is a very taxing thing. And for those of you who aren't aware, I do have a full-time job, and it actually takes a lot of my energy, and I happily give it a lot of my energy because I would love Rippaverse to continue to thrive and be great, and I will do everything I can to make that happen. So 90% of full effort goes into that. 10% of my effort goes into my little author writing career right now. That was the short story experiment. In my opinion, is a giant fail. Did not work for me. But it was nice to at least know that I could produce works rapidly in that succession. So that was nice. The other thing, and this was such a big breaking point for me, it was when I got the email from Audible. And Audible basically messaged me and said that we're going to reduce the cost of your works so that way you are more marketable towards other people. I don't remember the exact wording. It was basically, we're reducing the cost of your book because we can. I paid to make that Audible book, right? I financed all of it. It cost me $3,000 to do it. I won't be shy. I'm going to go ahead and lay that out for you guys. And it's a high quality book. I absolutely loved it. And first off, my experience with Audible, extremely poor. The commentary about Audible and how it treats its independent authors, very true. I remember when I was trying to get the book uploaded, and this was during COVID, so I understand that they were going through a lot of different things. But when I would reach out to customer service because I was trying to get the book uploaded along with the narrator, the response to me was shut up and color along those lines. We'll get to you when we get to you. But to my narrator, they're like, oh my goodness, it's so good to hear from you. Don't worry, we're going to go ahead and work on that. And I call bullshit on that because you're making money off of something that I paid for. The narrator did not pay to make that Audible book. I did. And I'm the one that is trusting that platform to go ahead and make sure that it gets the reach that it did. Here's the kicker. I didn't even get to decide the cost of my book. And at no point was I given the ability to go in and change the cost of my book either. No, I didn't have that. So when I got that email and they were basically like, this is your stuff and we're going to do what we want with it and have a nice day, and maybe you'll make some more sales off of it, I was done. Full out, walking, pacing up and down my galleyway kitchen. My husband did not know what to do with me while I was just sitting there and verbally processing my rant until I knew I was just gonna have to take it down. Now here's the fun thing. I went ahead and put in the request to take down my Audible book. First thing they did was go tell my narrator that they're taking my book down. So she came running to me and be like, why are you taking the book down? And I was like what are y'all doing over there? Like, seriously. Anyway, so I took it down and I'm going to go upload it somewhere else. I'm still in the process of uploading it. I'm not quite there yet, but I will be. But yeah, so I was just, these platforms that we're trying to thrive on, at this point, it's a big boy game. And what I mean by big boy game, it means that if you're the small little independent creator that was able to kind of lift them up to where they were, they don't care about you anymore. They just don't. In order for you to thrive on those platforms, you have to put in a lot more money for the marketing and the ads and all of that. And unfortunately, $30 a month, remember that. I don't have that kind of income to play that kind of marketing game. I'm moving away and I'm going to stick with grassroots, and I'm going to return to that train of thought here in a minute. But I'm going to tell you the last thing that made me be like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. I am not going to name names. This is not a tea spilling session, but I'm going to let you guys know that there are some individuals in the writing community, be it here on YouTube, be it on Twitter, be it wherever, they're out there, and they are toxic. And when I mean toxic, I mean like they come in and they leech and they take and they take and they take from you. Like, and more importantly, they take and they feel like they're entitled to it. Now, originally I was held hostage by my manners a little bit, and I say have because I don't want to say had, but I have this notion that if you can see somebody that you can help, then go ahead and help them, kind of thing. Now, I've learned the great power of no at this point, because these individuals that I would literally bend over backwards to help were never satisfied. They were always like, give me more, do this. And to be really honest, when I was in a really hard place back in 2021, I had this move from hell. I should probably make a video about that so you guys can laugh at my suffering. People like really dig that shit. Some of these people were just like really freaking rude, or they just left me to suffer and all this other stuff. And at one point, one of these individuals publicly humiliated me on a stream. And when I addressed it, they pretended like it was fine. So I'm tired of being in a group of individuals who think it's okay to just treat people like a commodity or an accessory or something that's there for their benefit. I am not here for your benefit. I'm here for me, and I'm going to write the stories that I want to write, and I will make them thrive one way or another. And as much as I would like to do it with a tribe or a community or any of those other associate words that make us feel like we're part of some kind of unified collective towards the greater good of publishing, I'm just done. And if you guys think that that's really jaded and kind of coarse of me, I don't know what to tell you. These are the people that came over and kind of ruined the experience for me. And on that note, if that's something that you feel needs to be addressed, here's the best thing I can tell you about demographics. Unless they are self-regulated, they're going to do whatever they want to do. And, being held hostage by your manners or concerned about how people are going to perceive you will stop you, again, from doing the thing that's better for you. So if you see something and you think it's wrong, then go ahead and say it's wrong. Now, I've already addressed these individuals and I've cut them out appropriately. And if they see this and they're like, maybe Carrow's talking about me, maybe I am, maybe you're paranoid. I don't really know the correct answer for that, but maybe you can take some time to self-reflect on how you engage with others. Now that I'm done getting that off my chest, I'll go ahead and talk about what I'm going to do moving forward. So I had a fun moment a couple of weeks ago, and what ended up happening was a concept for a story was kind of slid my way, and I don't mean like somebody handed it to me and told me to write it. What really happened was that would be a fun story idea, and I was like, man, you know what, that would be a fun story. And then the following week I just wrote it, right? So that was my moment, because originally I was like, I'm done writing, I won't write anymore, fuck this shit, blah 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 blah. And I decided that if I still felt that I don't want to call it urge. If I still felt that desire to write and produce things, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep doing it. But I'm not going to do it on Amazon. Fuck you guys. Seriously. I won't do it with Audible. Fuck you guys as well. Same company, different brother-sister relationship there. And I spent a while trying to figure out the best way to go ahead and do this. Now, there are two options that I'm exploring right now actively. What I mean actively is that you can go find these works that I have right now on those two platforms. So the first one is my website. strange concept, selling my books on my own website. Very, very bizarre. But they're up there right now. They're only going to be on the EPUB and version of that. So basically what happens is you go to the website, you can buy the work there, you can download that to your reading device, and then you can read it from there. Now, if you want to try for something that's more web browser friendly, I have moved all my stuff over to a website called LaterPress, and I'll do a video about LaterPress and my review of them and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm gonna say that LaterPress is so amazing that I pretty much did a move overnight. It was the thing that I felt was going to be the right way to go forward. I'm also pretty confident it's going to replace Patreon, which is huge. I went ahead and I have all that stuff over there. I'll put, again, those links down below. You guys can go check it out. And at some point I will do a video about LaterPress and my thoughts on it, my review and stuff like that. Still in its infancy, but I feel like it has a lot of growth and potential, so not going to let that go. Now, what I will be doing is how do I explain this? I have been quietly working on some stuff in the background, and when I mean some stuff in the background, it means like some graphic novels. Now, I'm not drawing these graphic novels. I'm going to throw that out there into the internet right now. I am not doing the illustrations for these. I have hired other people to do it for me. But I did do the scripts. I reviewed the scripts. I edited the scripts, all that good stuff. And those are in the works of being done right now. So when those are done, I'm also going to host those on my website, similar to the way that webcomics used to be done. I have considered places like Tapias and Webtoons, and that's really just not the platform. Because again, it runs into the same issues that happen with Amazon and Audible at the same time. Originally, Webtoons was like, the haven for people with webcomics, but now, like, if you go on there, it's a whole bunch of comics about people that get sucked into video games, and it's fun, but it's not where my stuff goes. I can do a whole video about that later, but I'm not going to right now. What I will say is, again, circling back, when they are in states of completion, I will post them again on my website, similar to webcomics, for folks to read, and I'll have like little donation buttons. Appreciate it if you go ahead and do that. But my expectations, both with the comic endeavors and my short stories, they're pretty minimum right now. I'm doing it just for the sake of that I want to do it. These are stories that I want to tell and stories that I would like to share. And if people read them, that's cool. And if they don't, that's also cool. That's fine. I know that everything I write is not everyone's jam, and that's fine. So what about me here on the YouTubes, right? Little secret from me to you. It's not really a secret because I'm about to tell all of you. I hate YouTube, and I hate making videos on YouTube. It is not an activity that I'm like, oh yeah, oh man, I'm just so pumped to put the video out. Yes. No, I don't. No, it's not my thing. It's a lot of effort, again, for literally zero result. And people may not like to hear that, but if you guys ever look in the descriptions of my videos, I always have like those little bit links on there, right? And the fun thing about Bitly is that they will always tell you when that link is clicked and who clicked it. Not as in your personal details, but like a location of sorts, right? So I can go through the history of the links I have for my various works, and I can tell you that literally nobody clicks on the links for my YouTube videos. It just doesn't work. So as a promotional thing, it's absolutely non-existent. It does not help me at all. Knowing that I won't make any money off of it, either from ads or from people buying my works, what I would like to do is still use it as a teaching opportunity. For those of you who are not aware, I used to be a teacher. I absolutely loved being a teacher, but I hated being a teacher because of the way that teachers are currently treated right now. Not really the video for that, but I can tell you it's pretty terrible. And there are things that I would just still like to kind of go over. Now, what I am going to do going forward with my video content is I'm going to follow on actually really just two topics in general. I'm going to focus on writing craft to an extent. Maybe it will be me talking about something that's going on with publishing that nobody else is talking about. Maybe it will be me kind of debunking some weird writing tactics that people use. Like, trust me, y'all, like, there's some people that just come up with tactics to say it's a tactic. It's bizarre. I don't even get it. So the other thing I want to talk about is going to be things pertaining to like organization or like improving productivity and all that other stuff, which I know for some of you are like, oh my goodness, Carrow talking about sorting things. How strange. But no, not quite. And I know there's a lot of individuals who like to talk about this. The ones I tend to gravitate towards are actually neuroscientists. It's exciting for me to like listen to them talk about this. But if you guys are not aware, I actually have a master's degree in psychology, mostly in industry organization psychology. And a lot of what we talk about are ways to work with people and help them be productive. And what I mean by that is when I work and I talk to you guys about some of these things, it's not just something that, oh, it worked for me, it will work for you. Like, these are like scientifically based methods and approaches and things that have been proven to work. And the other fun thing about that is that not one way works for everybody. And so, which means that I have a lot of videos that I could make on that, and a lot of things and talking points that people can use to discuss. So we'll be doing a little bit of that. Now, I did not mention streaming. I did not mention vlogs. Vlogs are kind of on the table. I haven't fully committed to it, but the reason I haven't fully committed to it is I know that when I talk about the stuff that helps you be more productive and organized, showing you a vlog of me doing the thing is probably going to be more beneficial towards you and be able to help me articulate my points more. So not quite committed, not turning it down completely. So that's still kind of over there. Now, the one thing I'm not going to be doing anymore is I'm not going to stream anymore. And the reason I'm not going to stream anymore is because streaming really isn't like the go-to fun activity anymore. And, we'll take a little history lesson into that. When I first got into streaming, it wasn't like a super big thing. We'd be like, hey guys, I'm going to stream, come hang out with me. And then as 2020 came and arrived and settled onto our lives, streaming became a little bit more prominent because we couldn't get out of our houses, right? We had no way to go and socialize with others, so we were doing it via streams. And I was a happy contributor to that, was more than willing to go and hang out with folks and provide some kind of stability. Now, I will tell you, I did do, my Nano Power Hour, and that was actually kind of fun because it was 1 hour out of my day that I could definitely commit to. Normally streams are anywhere between like 2 and 3 hours, depending on who's hosting it, what plan they've got, and all that good stuff. And for me, the secret about why I'm not going to stream anymore, at least productivity streaming, is because I'm not productive. For me to get as much done as I tend to do, I need to work uninterrupted. Like nobody there, nobody talking to me. And the thing about streaming, especially when you're hosting the stream, that's where the kicker is that not on top of trying to write whatever it is that you're trying to write, then you have to like engage with your co-host and you have to talk to the comment section. You have to do all of that, and it's such like it derails me from the thing that I'm trying to do so much that I can't fully commit to it, and then I start worrying about like those other things because again, I'm hosting. There was a time in Nano where I would actually do my writing before the stream, and then I would spend the stream just kind of editing. Like that's just where I was. And again, not a super high turnout, and not to say that those of you who showed up like don't matter in the big scheme of things. You guys, like, I really appreciate you giving me your time, and I thought that was very kind of you. But for 2 hours a day, 4 or 5 people to still yield like no results, that kind of lead back to motivating me to keep doing it, not quite the thing. And one thing I will also note is that I don't go to other people's streams right now, and but I will see them occasionally pop up when I'm going through YouTube, either looking for a video for one reason or another. And those numbers are down. Like, oh my goodness. I remember there's like one big like YouTuber, and she did a stream. She had like 32 people in her stream, and that's not a bad number. But she has like I think she's got 70,000 followers. So that ratio was just kind of out of despair. So I think for authors, like the whole productivity stream thing, if it helps you be successful, keep doing it. But it doesn't help me be successful, so I'm not going to do it anymore. So that's it. That's why I quit writing. That's why I decided to keep writing, but do it on my terms. And this is how I am going to do it. I am very curious if you guys have kind of experienced the same frustration that I have. I have kind of peeked in on a couple of conversations where independent authors are voicing some commentary about, how their grassroots efforts are going a lot better than, anything that they're trying to do marketing wise. And my thing about that is, I hate saying I think it's true, but I think it's true. Unless you are kind of specially chosen based off of who you are to be successful, you're not going to be successful. And trying to throw money at the machine to get you seen and heard is not actually going to work. And it hurts me to say that, but at this point, a lot of my sales, and I said this before, like when I first started being an author, I said the number one way that I have always made sales was talking to people, right? And I have tried, I have tried for almost 4 years now? I have tried for 4 years to do it the way that everybody has told me to do it, and I still continue to make more sales via my one-on-one engagements than I do through any of these other tactics. But for the devil advocate out there, and you're seeing my video and you have something to tell me, how are you being successful on these algorithms? Like, are you doing like a special code? Is it like a keyword? Like, what is it that you're doing? Or do you know that you have been specially chosen by the higher powers to make you successful because you're the flavor of the month? And that might hurt some people to hear that, but that's kind of like how this is all working right now. I don't want to dive into like the state of publishing right now. I'll make another video and I'll rant about that later. But it's definitely at a place where if you are not one of the chosen ones to do whatever it is that they want you to do, and I really want you to focus on the way that I said that, then you're just out to sea and you're just kind of paddling along trying to figure it out. And that's honestly like the big disparaging feeling I got at the start of the year, and why I was just like, if I have to climb uphill, like at least let me pick the hill. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you guys for coming and hearing me verbally process on my thoughts and feelings on this topic. I will more than likely start posting videos again, but not with any regularity, not once a week. It's going to be when I feel like it, on a topic I feel like covering, and we'll just kind of go from there. I will aim for at least once a month. That seems doable. So we'll do that. And until then, I hope you guys stay groovy and you have a good time, and I will talk to y'all again real soon. So, bye.